Before cities, before kingdoms, before even the first grain of wheat was planted, humans roamed the earth with nothing but fire, courage, and instinct. They were not farmers, not builders. They were wanderers of the wild, the hunter-gatherers. This is the story of how they lived and how we became who we are. Close your eyes and imagine the world 20,000 years ago. No skyscrapers, no roads, no machines, only endless forests, wide open plains, and rivers whispering through untouched valleys. The air was pure, the night sky endless, painted with 1,000,000 stars. In this world, every day was a test of survival. Humans didn't stay in one place. They followed the rhythm of nature, moving wherever food and water could be found. They learned to read the land, the footprints in the mud, the direction of the wind, the sound of birds calling danger. Life was harsh, but it was also deeply connected to the earth. Men and women worked together. There was no king, no servant, no rich or poor. Everyone had a role to play. The hunters would rise before dawn, silent as shadows, carrying stone-tipped spears and bows made of bone and sinew. They followed animal trails, moving with patience and respect. A single hunt could decide the fate of the group. The gatherers, often women and children, searched for roots, berries, and fruits. They knew which plants could heal and which could kill. Their knowledge was passed down through whispers, songs, and stories told beside the fire. At the center of every tribe burned a fire, small but powerful. It gave warmth in freezing nights, light in the dark, and safety from wild beasts. But fire was more than survival. It was connection. Around it, people shared stories of the hunt, of spirits that lived in the forest, and of ancestors who guided them from beyond. The firelight reflected on cave walls, and those walls soon became their first canvas. Thousands of years before written words, humans painted their lives in color and shadow. Deep inside caves in places like Lascaux and Altamira, they drew animals, bison, horses, mammoths, and painted their hands, leaving a mark for eternity. Why did they paint? Maybe to honor the animals they hunted, or to teach their children the ways of survival. But some say it was their way of saying, "We were here." That was the beginning of human imagination, the first spark of art, of belief, of storytelling. Unlike later civilizations, hunter-gatherers lived in small groups, maybe 20 to 50 people. They shared everything they found. There were no rulers or slaves, no palaces or gold. Decisions were made together, and the most respected were not the strongest, but the wisest. They understood something we often forget, that survival depended on cooperation, not competition. But the world began to change. The ice that once covered vast lands began to melt. Forests turned into plains, animals migrated, and food became harder to find. So some humans began to plant seeds. They stayed in one place, learned to farm, and built the first villages. That moment, when a wandering tribe settled, marked the birth of civilization and the end of the hunter-gatherer age. Yet their spirit never vanished. Their courage, curiosity, and unity still live within us. We may hold smartphones instead of spears, but deep down, we're still searching for food, for meaning, for connection. Because once, long ago, we all were hunters and gatherers. To know where we are going, we must first remember where we came from. The story of humanity began in the wild, under the stars, beside the fire, and it's still being written today.